Have you ever seen a man not afraid to die? Gave his life for a dream. Born hustler, so the game conceived. A caged beast, but now I'm free. How can you blame me? I was born for this, the game chose me. Ready. My whole clique since 06 was on the bottom, now we running this. Grind hard when the load gets heavy. The money was slow, but now it's ready. You boys is not ready.
It's in our islands. And our waters. It's in our artistry. And across our land. It's in our history. And our cities. It's in all our stones that stand. It's time to come and find it. It's time to come and feel it. Scotland, a spirit of its own.
The time has come. The dawn of a new era. 2 cities set the stage. And 7 sports unite together. The bar is raised, and the best shall rise. Heroes will be born, and battles shall be won. Where talent beats talk, and glory is for the taking. Records will be broken.
Adam Peaty, a class of his own.
The impossible
It's a world record.
made possible.
Get in there.
They may forget what was said, but not how it felt. The moment is coming. Live the moment.
Hello and welcome to the finals session on day number 4 of the British Championships here at the wonderful Toll Cross International Swimming Centre. Well, we have seen some incredible swimming all week, and this morning's heats was nothing to be ashamed at. We had the likes of Adam Peaty, Ross Murdoch, Housel, Anthony James, James Guy, just to name a few. And we've got a jam-packed evening for you. As always, we have got all the backstage gossip, all of the live events, and as you can hear, that crowd is getting wound up for this final session. It is a sell-out crowd. Now, last night we saw Max Litchfield get inside that qualification and consideration time, and we're going to be telling you in just a second how he and Ross and Hannah and Kate are going to tell you all about how you can get inside that qualification time and what you need to be doing. And as always, I'm going to be with you. If you want to tweet us at all, use that hashtag BSC16, and we are loving all your tweets you've been sending in. We've had some as far away as New Zealand, which has just been amazing. We have 12 finals for you tonight. So we have those Target Tokyo finals, we have those junior finals, and of course we have those championship finals. Now, let's hear what Ross, Hannah and Kate have to say about how these swimmers could qualify for the Rio Olympics.
So the important question is, how are our swimmers selected for Rio 2016?
Well, this isn't your average selection meets. The swimmers have to perform a consideration time, which will then allow them to be nominated. That will be put to the British Olympic Association, and that's how they'll be selected to go to Rio.
OK, so I'm slightly confused. Ross, how are our swimmers nominated?
Well, this is completely different, as Kate just mentioned. In the past, it'd be the fastest...
Back in your day?
Back in my day, there'd be the fastest two, and you'd be selected for the Olympic Games, and you would know that straight away. This is different. It's all about being nominated for the team, and there's a table out there, and it is very, very quick. And the athletes that go to Rio are going to be at the top of their game going into the Summer Olympic Games.
And of course, more information on the British Swimming website. So technically, could we have loads of swimmers being nominated, Kate?
Well, they've only got 30 spots available. And that doesn't mean they have to fill all those spots. It just means that there are 30 spaces available. And if a swimmer reaches that consideration time, they will obviously be very close to being on that plane to Rio. But those that maybe just miss out, maybe they don't win the race or are just off the qualification time, the consideration time, then they have to be within 2% of another table of times, which are even more difficult. But if they do reach those times, it means they're in with a very good chance of performing in Rio.
Throw into the mix, there's 6 wildcards.
Hold on. What are the 6 wildcards?
6 wildcards at the discretion of the head coach and the National Performance Director.
And when will our swimmers know if they have been selected or nominated?
Thursday of next week.
OK, you heard it here first, Thursday of next week.
So I hope that makes it a little bit clearer on how to qualify. Now, I am joined here by Commonwealth silver medalist Grant Turner. Grant, it's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you for having me back. I appreciate it. I'm looking forward to seeing some more fast swimming tonight.
So you were here last night with Hannah.
Yeah.
How did you think Max Litchfield went? He got underneath that consideration time. What did you think about his swim?
For me, it was just the standout swim so far of the trials, but also of last night. For me, he took it on from the start. There was no sort of playing around with the field. He went straight after it. And for me, it's just an absolute credit to Ross Barber and the city of Sheffield. It's a great programme. They've been doing some great work, so it's very well deserved for the young man.
Definitely. So I chatted to Bill Furness, British Swimming's head coach. Let's hear what he had to say. I'm here with Bill Furness, head coach of British Swimming. So, Bill, can you explain your role to me, please?
Well, it's pretty diverse, my role. I suppose the main thing is it's responsible for performance, so it's making sure that British swimmers, British coaches are up to date and are acting in a world-class fashion. Together with Chris Spice, the performance director, it's to put a structure in place that enables our athletes to be the best they can be.
So can you just explain the philosophy of the programme?
Philosophy of the programme is, as the name says, it's a world-class programme. It's about doing everything as well as you possibly can. It's about being organised, being structured and leaving no stone unturned. If you're going to be the best in the world, you can't have a day off from that. So it's making sure that your training, your nutrition, your support services, your mental approach, everything you do is world-class day in, day out. And obviously as a programme, we try and support that.
Can you just explain the aim of the selection policy here at the British Championships?
Very simple. Look, this is not an end in itself. This is the start of the process for the team swimming well in Rio. So the selection policy, the aim is to give us the opportunity to get the very best, most robust swimmers who will perform in Rio. Simple as that.
So what do you think that the swimmers in Team GB need to do to be successful on a world stage?
You have to be in front of the curve, not behind the curve. You cannot be something, a swimmer's doing this and we'll catch up. You have to be excellent in everything you do. You have to do it every day, and you have to be an inventor. You have to be in front of the curve, doing new things, trying new ways of doing things, always looking for that edge, always trying to be the best.
So what are you going to do to keep our swimmers' feet on the ground going into Rio?
I don't think that's a big ask. I think this group of athletes we've got now are very level-headed. I think they do have their feet on the ground. We're very realistic. That doesn't mean we're not ambitious, but we're very realistic. We know it's going to be a challenge, but we're up for the challenge. And I think between now and Rio, We've got several preparation stages for the team and for the athletes, and if they go well, I'm sure we'll be in a good shape in Rio.
Well, I know I'm looking forward to seeing all of our swimmers swim in Rio. Thank you very much, Bill, for joining me. So I know Bill Finesse is in the crowds here tonight, ready to watch these events. Let's have a quick rundown of all the events we're going to be seeing.
So first up tonight, we've got the men's 200 metres breaststroke. 6 men within 2 seconds of each other. Bath's Andrew Willis leads the way, but he's surrounded by Adam Peaty, Ross Murdoch, Craig Benson and current Olympic silver medalist Michael Jameson, all hunting down that 2:08.52 consideration time. Next up is the women's 100 metres freestyle. Last night we saw a devastated Francesca Hausel just narrowly missing the cut on the 50 metres freestyle. But tonight she's looking to turn around that disappointment as she goes head-to-head with Siobhan Marie O'Connor, and keep your eyes on that 53.68 consideration time. Next up is the men's 100 metres fly. James Guy's already gained a nomination, and tonight he's going in the 100 metres butterfly against Anthony James, head-to-head against the Plymouth swimmer. And we finish off tonight with the women's 200 metres backstroke. Two-time Olympian Elizabeth Simmons is looking to go under that 2:08.21 barrier, but will she be stopped by Chloe Hammond?
So let's see who made it into tonight's finals.
It's the 4th day of competition at Toll Cross, including the much-anticipated 200 breaststroke for men. 2 of the 2012 Olympic finalists involved, and one of them, Bath's Andrew Willis, clocked the fastest time in the heats of 2:10.47. After disappointment of not doing the time she wanted in the 50 freestyle, Fran Hausel was back to have a crack at the 100, and she set the fastest heat time of 54.22. James Guy is going to take some stopping this week. Victorious in the 400 freestyle, he was a class act in the 100 butterfly, going sub-53 with the promise of more to come. Lizzie Simmons just missed out on a medal at London 2012. She's keen to be in Rio and was marginally quicker than Jessica Fullerlove in the heats of the 200 backstroke. And the endurance men had their heats this morning. Daniel Jervis fastest in the 1500 freestyle, clocking 15:12.86. That will be some final tomorrow night.
So we are nearly ready to start. I'm going to hand you over to the commentators Bob Ballard and Ross Davenport.
Thank you, Cassie. Really looking forward to this session. Look forward to all the sessions this week, but particularly this one. I think we're going to have 2 cracking races, hopefully 4 big finals as far as the seniors are concerned, but 2 that have so much intrigue and anticipation about them, including the first event we're going to see. We'll see the junior version of the senior final of the 200 breaststroke first, and then the Target Tokyo final. But the 200 breaststroke tonight could be one of the events of the 6-day program. We have the 100 butterfly, expecting something rather special from James Guy tonight. Will that British record of Michael Rock go? Could he be the first British swimmer to go sub-51? That we will find out later. 100 freestyle, we're still not quite sure whether Fran Hausel is going to show. There are some rumours circulating that maybe she won't, but we'll know that a little later on. And the 200 backstroke for women, Lizzie Simmons looking to win yet another title. Not quite sure how many it is now, but she's rarely been headed in recent years. Alongside me for the duration is the former record holder for Britain of the 200 free, for England, I should say. You're never British record holder of the 200 free, where you were the English record holder.
Yeah, I had the British record.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I did it for 2 days.
2 days. Well, there you go. Well, it's true. He's not lying. He's true.
Then Robbie Rennick broke it.
Yeah, English record holder for quite some time, for James Guy broke it. As we go on to the 200 breaststroke for the juniors. I'll run through that lineup in case it flashed before your eyes a bit too quickly there. Conor Bryan of City of Oxford in 1, Nathan Hughes of Hatfield in 2, 3 is George Clough of Warren de Baths, 4 is Yaron Gerber, 5 Callum Smart of City of Oxford, 6 Callum Laurie of First Club, 7 is Joseph Burrard of Newcastle, 8 James Miller of Portsmouth. By the way, I learned today that Nathan Hughes is Caleb Hughes' brother.
Yeah, they swam in the same heat this morning in the 1500. Nathan Hughes has a cracking meet so far, back in tonight in the 200 metres breaststroke in lane number 2 with the pink cap. Going back to the race, this is Gerber in lane number 4 from Barnet Copthall, turning first in 31.53. 0.2 quicker than James Miller from Portsmouth North Sea.
They're looking for European junior times here, of course. 2:16.42 is the time. Well, that means a big improvement is required by everybody in this field to get close to it, but this is a good front running here from Yaron Gerber of Barnet Copthall. Let's see where the clock stops at the halfway stage. 1:06.59 for him. Callum Smart in second, 67.71 third to George Clough in 68.14. Now, can Gerber keep this pace going?
Well, there's a sizable lead at the halfway mark, 1.1 seconds. You can see that equates to around about 1.5 meters as they go through the 125 meter mark, 75 meters to go. But less than now. Be driving down that third 50. Looks like there's going to be a challenge from lane number 3, George Clough from Warren de Baths. But it still is going to be Yaron Gerber from Barnet Copthall turning first with 150 meters to go. And he does so 0.8 of a second ahead of George Clough from Warren de Baths. And Callum Smart in lane number 5, another half second behind.
Callum Laurie is coming through as well in lane number 6, and so too Callum Smart right alongside Yaron Gerber and George Clough on the far side in lane number 3. Can he catch? He's trying to catch Yaron Gerber, last 15 metres, and he is going to overtake him by the looks of things. George Clough, 2:16.42 is the time. Probably going to be just outside that, but it's a big personal best. 2:19.12 for the man in lane number 3, George Clough. 2:21.51 was his previous best. Well, he's improved on that by about a second and a half. Time of 2:19, in fact 2 seconds, 2:19.12, 2:19.84 for Yaron Gerber in second. And here comes confirmation of that result for you. Callum Smart in third place in 2:20.08. So the front runner for most of that race, finishing in second place behind George Clough.
Yeah, George Clough really started to wind it up, and you can see him there on the screen. He started to wind it up down that third 50. There's 75 meters to go. He really put his foot on the pedal. Now you can see 15 meters to go, slightly behind with 15 meters to go. But that's where he kept the momentum going all the way to the wall. Coached at Warren de Baths by Chris Gilchrist, a former 200 breaststroke swimmer himself.
I was just talking to, he's off to Singapore later this year, got a 2-year coaching job in Singapore.
He's going 3 days after he gets married. So, a working honeymoon.
Yeah, indeed. Well, it's not too bad to get paid for it. Good luck to him in that. And hopefully after 2 years in Singapore, he'll come back and be a coach in the UK again. At the moment, one of the assistant coaches at Warrender. And I was talking with Chris Alderson, who was one of his swimmers, will be on later on today. 1500 metres freestyle swimmer for many years. He's now in the coaching role down in Bath, not part of the main setup, but the kind of support team, if you like. And he's starting to enjoy it, saying he's learning more about coaching than he ever did when he was swimming. He says it's not that automatic that because you're a good swimmer, you're going to make a good coach. And it's basically what you were saying earlier on today. Yeah, it is. Sometimes, you know, you can have as much knowledge of the sport, but if you can't relay that and get it back to the swimmers you're trying to coach, a lot of coaches, their biggest downfall is they've only got one way of telling somebody how to do something, and if that one swimmer doesn't understand that and has to be told in a different way or various different ways, that's the way it really separates the coaches, that they can get their message across to the swimmers. It's great that you can be involved in the sport from such an early age, and you have this knowledge, and if you can relay it back to the swimmers and then you go into coaching, it just gives, you know, it adds so much value. There's the 1:28 for the Target Tokyo 200 breaststroke. Fastest qualifier, Charlie Atwood of Bath University. I'll give you the supporting players in just a few minutes' time. Oh, I didn't think we had a lane 5 for a moment. Ed Baxter rather slow in getting onto his block, but he's there. And I'll give you the full 1:28 once they're in the water. Edmund Ashton of London Aquatics in 1, James Lewis of City of Cardiff in 2, Luke Davis of City of Birmingham in 3, Charlie Atwood have mentioned, who is the fastest qualifier from Bath, in 4, Ed Baxter of Cockermouth 5, Kieran Preston, Edinburgh University in 6, David Murphy of City of Oxford, and Kieran also of Portsmouth. Remember, these are the swimmers we're looking at who could be potential medalists, finalists, certainly make the team for Rio 2020, and this is a very stacked event, so trying to get into the best in the 200 breaststroke is quite hard. Yeah, it certainly is, and they'll be watching the final immediately after this one with all the big guns in there, hoping to get under the consideration time for Rio 16. But they're wanting to put a great show in themselves. Charlie Atwood from Bath University in lane number 4 had a great first 50, but it now is Luke Davis, City of Birmingham, also coached by a former swimmer, Carl Grosvenor,
a long-distance swimmer, 1500, went to European Juniors.
I'm going to have a chat with Carl about this stroke. You know, it's just getting me now. 100 completed from Luke Davis, leading though, and again, if he wins this, the proof of the pudding will be in the way he does it. But it really looks like a rocking horse to me. 103.70 for Luke. Charlie Atwood in second place. But if he comes and powers his way through to, I'll have to eat those words yet again.
We've had plenty of arguments about this. It doesn't really matter how it looks above the water, what happened underneath the water, and he's so powerful, and he is getting up, and he is really propelling himself forward, and now he is driving down to the final turn, and he does have full body length advantage. Have to see what it is converts to in time. It's 1 second, 1.01 advantage over Charlie Atwood of Bath University.
And here he comes. That little hitch in the stroke, but at the moment it's paying dividends for him. But they are starting to come back now. Charlie Atwood coming back, Edward Baxter coming back, Kieran Preston, all of them in 5, 6 and 7. But you know what? Luke Davis is not going to be headed here. 15 metres to go, and he's holding that lead. Charlie Atwood trying to come right back on his shoulder. Going to be unsuccessful in that attempt. Edward Baxter's going to finish in third place. So it's another win, second of the week for Luke Davis in the Target Tokyo Finals. 2:12.79 is his finish time, and that is just 4/100ths of a second outside his personal best.
It is, and there it is. The breaststroke double, did the 100 earlier on in the week, and now backed up and the 200.
Everybody in, everybody clear. Charlie Atwood second, Edward Baxter third, and Kieran Preston in fourth place, and this is how he finished with that stroke.
He's efficient. He gets the job done. It doesn't matter about your technique. I don't think you haven't wrote a book about breaststroke technique.
I'm starting one tomorrow.
Is Luke Davis going to be on the front cover?
I'd love to know what Grant Turner thinks about that. Grant, you let me know what you think.
So we have a sellout crowd here for these final sessions tonight. We have 5 swimmers within 2 seconds of each other going into this men's 200 metres breaststroke. Grant, what are you thinking?
Wow, what a crazy race this is going to be. It's going to be so close. Like you said, we've got 5 guys in there. Don't get me wrong, it's the whole field. It's a world-class lineup. But we've got likes of Andrew Willis, who looked really strong in the heats this morning. Michael Jameson, Olympic silver medalist, can never write him off. Adam Peaty, we all know what Adam Peaty can do. Ross Murdoch, and of course Craig Benson. We can't forget about Craig. So I honestly believe this win could come from anywhere tonight. And that being said, whoever does get that win could potentially be looking at an Olympic medal come the summer.
So we heard this crowd just then going wild. What do you reckon that's going to do for our Scottish swimmers?
Oh, they're going to be absolutely buzzing for this. You know, they've experienced this last year, these boys at the Commonwealth Games, the year before, sorry. So they're going to enjoy it tonight.
So ready for our next event.
Here come the gladiators for the 200 breaststroke. What an event this is going to be. Cheers all over the place. We have Edinburgh University with Michael Jameson. We have University of Stirling with Ross Murdoch. We have University of Stirling with Craig Benson as well. And we have Edinburgh University with Callum Tate. So we have 4 Sassenachs and 4 Scots in this field. And they're going to love seeing Michael Jameson on pool deck. He's arrived. We'll see Ross Murdoch very soon. Not the fastest qualifier, though. Andrew Willis is. And there's Adam Peaty, our 100 champion, going for the 200. And let's not forget, Ross Murdoch, the man on screen there, is the British record holder. Now, can we find anybody who can go down to the 207s here? It's not been a massively quick meet, but there are people in this field, there's probably 4 of them actually, who could possibly get down to 208 or maybe 207. The qualifying time is 208.52.
Well, 2 people have already been 207s in their career. 4 years ago it was Michael Jameson. 2 years ago in this very pool, or less than that, 18 months ago in this very pool, Ross Murdoch setting one of the fastest times ever recorded, 207.30. But Andrew Willis looked fantastic on the 100.
So he did.
So did Adam Peaty. fastest time in the world in the 100 so far from Adam. Andrew Willis, a lifetime best, first PB in 4 years. Ross Murdoch looked very, very comfortable this morning. Craig Benson had a great 100. Been training more for the 200. And then you've got the little fact that Michael Jameson, silver medalist from the Olympics.
Oh, interesting. Bit of posturing here. Andrew Willis making them all wait. Last one to get into position in lane number 4. Start really doesn't matter too much in the 200 breaststroke, but Adam Peaty is away in 0.59. That's considerably quicker than anybody else.
He certainly is, and he's away. He normally gives a little bit of a head start to the rest of the guy. Is he going for a 50 time trial here, Bob? He's absolutely fine. But it'd be interesting to see whether he's going to go out so quick and just try and break the rest of the field. You want to expect the likes of Michael Jameson, Ross Murdoch.
27.73? Get off.
He went 27.3 in the 100. But you expect that Andrew Willis, if he can keep close to Adam Peaty, then he's going to drag him along. These boys are going to be catching him. But is he going to get himself too far ahead that just nobody in the world is going to catch him?
That was 2 seconds under British record pace at 50. Now, let me give you a marker. Ross Murdoch, when he set that British record, 1:02.05.
This will be miles under world record pace at 100.
1:00.68. Adam Peaty, second. Andrew Willis wondering what the hell is going on here. In second place, Craig Benson in third. At the moment, Ross Murdoch is making no impression.
Look at Andrew Willis come through. A lot of people are expecting Adam to die. He is dying. He is absolutely dying. He does train for the 200, but here comes Andrew Willis. Also going well is Craig Benson in lane 6. It's going to come to a real ding-dong. Also going very well in lane number 5 is Michael Jameson. Is Ross Murdoch.
They're all coming, bunching up. Andrew Willis leads with 50 to go. Craig Benson in second. Ross Murdoch in third. Adam Peaty now has fallen back to 4. It's going to be Andrew Willis against the clock. Remember, 2:08.52 is the time they're looking for. Ross Murdoch coming back. Craig Benson coming back.
Andrew Willis is looking incredibly strong with 25 metres to go. He's starting to move away from the field. Craig Benson still in there. Ross Murdoch starting to fly. 15 metres to go.
Andrew Willis has this nailed. Who's going to get the second? And the question is, of course, what kind of time? Come on, Andrew Willis. 2:07, 2:08, 08. That's magnificent. Really, really good from Andrew Willis. 2:09.07, Craig Benson. Third place to Ross Murdoch. And fourth was James Wilby. Andrew Willis nails the swim, nails the time. Rio, here he comes.
Wow, what a swim. What a spectacle. Adam Peaty flew out under world record pace at 100 metres. Everyone expected him to go out quick, but not that quick. Absolutely brilliant. Really, really controlled swim from Andrew Willis. He was right next to Adam Peaty. He wasn't affected with how quick he went out. Good man. He was on the Olympic team 4 years ago. Came 5th in the Olympic final.
Boy, oh boy.
He's back. He's back. It's been a hard 4 years for Andrew Willis. What a swim.
Fabulous stuff. Really, really good from Andrew Willis. Just terrific. Really was. And 2:08.47 was his personal best before that. Not anymore. That's a huge new personal best. And we are going to hear from Andrew Willis right now, who's got some words of wisdom to say for us.
Champion again in 2016 in one of the most anticipated races of this championship. Just sum up how you feel right now.
Yeah, static. Wow. My heart was absolutely racing in the call room. As you say, British champion, but every year it's getting harder. What a great field. Wow.
Did you feel the pressure? Did you feel the pressure for this event?
Oh, yeah, of course you do. Of course you do.
But you've lived up to that pressure now. You are our British champion 2016. Congratulations, Andrew Willis. Big cheer for our British champion.
Wow, what a way to kick off these finals. I've got goosebumps. What about you?
Take a bow, Andrew Willis. That was phenomenal. The young man, he just went after it, and he did not show any signs of letting up. Adam Peaty set the tone for the race, but Andrew Willis, well done, son. He did a great swim there.
Definitely, we saw Adam Peaty go out there in a 27 point, turned in a 102, and then came the fishing rod, then everybody started hunting him down.
Yeah, I had a good conversation with Mel Marshall, Adam's coach, this morning after the heats, and she said that's what he was going to do. He went out and he stuck to the game plan, and didn't work out for young man, but he's on the plane already.
It is incredible. Getting that consideration time, you could see how much it meant to him. Now, we are going to be heading on now to the women's 100 metres front crawl.
The junior version coming up first, and 56.47 is the time that all of these are looking for to get to European juniors. Having a quick look down the list, nobody has actually done that. The closest to it so far is Darcy Deakin of City of Sheffield. Now, that could be a story. We had the Sheffield story last night, maybe we'll have one now, because she's not too far outside that qualifying time. She's only 12 100ths with a personal best. 56.59 Darcy has done before. She's not the fastest qualifier though. That is Freya Anderson who goes in lane 4. Here's the full 1:08 for you in the women's juniors 100 freestyle. And I won't give you the full 1:08 because it's a shorter race, but I will tell you the main protagonists in terms of their entry time from this morning anyway. Darcy Deakin in 3, Freya Anderson of Ellesmere College in 4, and Emily Large, who's had an absolutely superb week. Good to see Newcastle getting back on the radar again after some troubled times because of problems with the pool. But things, I think, are starting to be resolved up there in the northeast, and a fantastic start from Anna Fleming on the far side in lane 1. She's away.
She is away. You're used to swimming in this pool from the city of Glasgow, but you're right. Emma Large had a fantastic meet, and we always see Emma come back incredibly strong over the last 50, but it is Anna Fleming, City of Coventry, 27.43, turning first. Second, Jane Brown from Newcastle. But now looking into the centre lanes, lane number 4, Freya Anderson. We saw her in the breaststroke. Now she's starting to show her strength, moving down through the field with 15 metres to go. She's just edging herself into the lead.
56.47 is the target time, and she is, I think, going to be inside that. Oh, no, she has. She's just done it. Yeah, by 7 100ths. She has done it. Well done. Personal best and a time for the European Championships for the juniors later in the year. 56.40, fastest she's ever been. And Emily Large, we mentioned her in commentary. Mentioned a lot in commentary this week. 57.27 for her in second place. Anna Fleming of City of Glasgow in third, and Darcy Deakin, who we thought might be the person to push that time, slipping back into fifth. But Freya Anderson gets the qualification time for the European Juniors, 56.40.
Another well-controlled race. Just see the seniors in the core room. Can be a really, I was going to say scary place, not scary, but it's intimidating place. You just heard Andrew Willis say that his heart was racing in the core room. There's a lot at stake for these older swimmers. There's also a lot at stake for the junior swimmers. European junior, you can see all the big names in there.
Trying to detect Fran Housel's in there. She is in there, so she's going to go in the 100 freestyle. There were rumours around that maybe she wouldn't, but head-to-head to come with her and Siobhan and Marie O'Connor in just a few moments' time. Before we get to that, it's the Target Tokyo 100 freestyle final, in case you come to us late this week and haven't seen the previous heats and finals. Target Tokyo basically is looking at the potential for 2020 and seeing who might be able to perform in this environment, get them ready for what would be for them trials for the Japanese Olympics in 4 years' time. That's a little way away.
But it's interesting, going back to Andrew Willis's comment, and this is why they're putting the Target Tokyo finals in there. He was sat in the core room, he was really nervous, and you know, the question was put to him, did you feel the pressure? And he was like, yeah, of course I felt the pressure. But it's all about who feels the pressure, but who handles it the best. And this is why the Target Tokyo, the junior finals, it's about bringing them back into the evening and letting them stand up against some of the best swimmers the best swimmers in Britain, going head-to-head racing, because that's what's going to happen when they move through the junior ranks into the senior careers.
Fastest qualifier from the heats, Lucy Hope of Edinburgh University. She'll get a big cheer, even though she's from the rival city up the road. 3, Georgina Boyle of Chelsea and Westminster. and Kathleen Greenslade in 5. They're the 3 fastest going into this final, and it was lane 1 setting the pace in the previous final. It's definitely lane 4, Lucy Hope, this time.
It is Lucy Hope being on the European Juniors, so she's starting now to go from the European Juniors, starting to bridge that gap into her senior career, making that transition, and she's going to be incredibly quick. 26.65 in lane number 4. Great skills, great underwater. Has come from a 200 butterfly background, 100 butterfly as well, using all those skills that you can transfer from different strokes, and she's powering her way through this field.
Now, how quick can she go? 55.86 is her personal best. I think she's going to be very much in the region of that. Now she's coming in just outside it. Yeah, 55.87 for Lucy Hope. Catherine Greenslade in 2nd place for Preston, and 3rd for Maya Westlake of Sheffield, 56.73, but a very composed race and a very competent performance by Lucy Hope in coming in first.
See her there, 1/100 outside of her personal best. It's a fast finish from Catherine Greenslade, but Lucy Hope got her head down, managed to get her hand on the wall first. Just 0.3 of a second separating first and second.
So that's the conclusion of the Target Tokyo 100 freestyle. The Women's Open 100 free to come next.
So we've seen some incredible swimming already. We've seen those junior finals, those Target Tokyo finals, as well as Andrew Willis taking that gold medal in that 200 metres breaststroke. What else are you looking forward to seeing, Grant?
This 100 freestyle, I'm really interested to see how Fran Housel, comes back after last night's disappointment. We saw on the podium she was absolutely devastated to not have made the cut. Hopefully she can come back stronger tonight.
She looked incredible in the heat. She went out there to dominate. She wasn't holding anything back. And Siobhan Marie O'Connor, it's going to be a bit close between those two, I'm thinking.
Siobhan's not going to let her have it. Fran's got all that experience, but that doesn't mean anything when it's a final and 100 freestyle to qualify for the Olympic Games. Siobhan's going to want that. She kicks off her event here, so she's going to be looking to swim fast.
So we need to talk again about that breaststroke, because Andrew Willis going underneath that consideration time, and you could see how much it meant to him. For that 25-year-old, this might be his last chance at an Olympics. Have a little look now. We can see those people cheering for Ross Murdoch. He didn't quite get it there, but it was Andrew Willis that got that gold.
Andrew Willis upset the crowd a little bit here tonight in Glasgow, but the young man did very, very well. He's had a couple of years now where he's been a little bit in limbo, and I know speaking with him, his performances haven't been where he wanted them to be. So to get back to his best tonight, he's going to be absolutely delighted, and I'm delighted for him.
Definitely, it's been an incredible week this week, and the atmosphere in here is amazing. All of the crowd, you can see them with their banners, you can see them cheering on. I've been getting goosebumps at the end of that race. I think we're just going to be able to see the end of that breaststroke race. Here you can see there's clear water either side of Andrew as he comes into that finish.
And he looks so long going into that finish as well, which is, after 150 metres of fast swimming breaststroke, that's great to see. You can just see Adam Peaty there falling out of shot as he took a great fast 100 at the start. MJ coming back strong, but Andrew Willis, he held on for the win, and fair play to the young man.
Definitely. I mean, you could see then when he had that interview of Kate, that raw emotion, and that's what we love to see. We love to see the swimmers who come out here and they put everything on the line to get these medals. Yeah,
and I know Andrew Willis's squad went to a training camp in Australia recently, and Andrew decided to stay in Bath and work on his own, and with Dave McNulty from afar, and it's obviously made the right decision. It's paid off for the young man.
Definitely, all of these gentlemen here so close going into that final. There's going to be some people who are just going to be waiting to see if they're within that 2%, if they've been selected or not. But one person who's definitely under that consideration time, it is Andrew Willis. And we'll be hearing a little bit from him in a minute with Kate, where we can see Ross Murdoch there waving to the crowd. Such a huge amount of Scottish people here. I think that really helped to bring him back on that second 100.
It did, yeah. I mean, it absolutely erupted. It's this absolute sellout crowd tonight, and there's absolutely no reason why. We've got Ross Murdoch in there, Craig Benson, Michael Jameson, of course. The Scots were loud tonight, just like they were at the Commonwealth Games. And it's great to see. Scottish swimming is on an absolute high at the minute, and long may it continue.
OK, so let's see Andrew Willis pick up his gold.
08.08, faster than he has ever been before, doing it at exactly the right time. Not quite the 2:07 he wanted. I'm sure he would love to get into that territory, and hopefully later on in the year he will. Europeans and Olympics hopefully to come for Andrew Willis, but he swam that immaculately. What a terrifically swum race by Andrew. And the two Scots unable to stay with him on this occasion in the 200 breaststroke. Well done, Andrew Willis. Consideration time for Rio 2016. Hopefully see him on the plane in August. By the way, those banners were actually for Ross Davenport and not for Ross Murdoch.
Of course. And you've got your banner here saying "Go Ross," and that's certainly for me, not Ross Murdoch.
Right, we've got a couple of special presentations coming up. And we're going to hear from Andrew Willis in more detail with Kate on the medal podium right now.
I've been nominated for Rio. You can now start thinking about Rio, right?
Yeah, definitely. It changes my time off now quite considerably. So, yeah, I mean, you know, I've really put everything into this year. Looked for all the little gains that I can make in training and in and around the pool. So really, I just want to carry on. I mean, that was one of the biggest things coming into this. I've done all this hard work and, you know, I was excited and I just wanted to carry on. So I'm going to keep going, really.
And if you win gold in this event in Britain, it means you stand a pretty good chance against the rest of the world, right?
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, that was a solid race and, you know, you've got to do the same when you go to the big meets. Just stick to what you need to do, your race plan. I think Adam was trying to give me a bit of a fright there, but you know, just stuck to what I need to do, and you know that's what you got to do as well at the big ones.
And you certainly did. Your British champion for the 200 metres breaststroke, Andrew Willis.
Yeah, terrific reception from the Scottish crowd because they're a bit disappointed. Of course they are, because Michael Jameson wasn't in the top three. Craig Benson was second, and Ross Murdoch was three. So it is the Englishman who gets the plaudits tonight, gets the gold tonight. But that was a terrific performance. You got to admire Scottish, English, Welsh, or Northern Ireland. You've got to admire the fantastic performance by Andrew Willis. Now we have special presentations because we do have world champions, we do have world record holders. We saw one of them in the 200 breaststroke just now, going like the clappers. Absolutely going like the clappers. Morris Watkins is coming in for the presentation, and Adam Peaty, who will just be trying to recover from that manic first 100 in the 200 breaststroke, when he was 2 seconds inside British record pace off the first 50. And we're wondering, as indeed Ross said, was it a time trial for a 50? But I need to check that time actually, see what that will count, because it's ridiculous. Anyway, he is a world champion and a world record holder, and to acknowledge that fact, Adam Peaty gets the black world record for London and Kazan. For Adam Peaty, world record in the mixed relay, and the individual 100 breaststroke for Adam Peaty. That'll go up on his wall, and it may be the first of very many to come during the course of his career. Here's another one.
I love that.
Here's one we prepared earlier.
Yeah.
This is the Athlete of the Year award for Adam Peaty from FINA. So not only the world record acknowledged from last year, 2 world records acknowledged from last year, but also the fact he was the FINA Swimmer of the Year. Mel Marshall will be mighty proud. Derby is mighty proud. Uttoxeter in particular is mighty proud. Uttoxeter probably known before Adam Peaty for the race course and nothing else. Now they have something to usurp the race course. He's called Adam Peaty.
Well, he's a fine stallion himself, isn't he? He's an absolute monster. He's so strong, he's so quick, and just so, everyone should be so proud that he's British. And the best thing about it is he's proud to be British. He wears his heart on his sleeve, and he goes out there and just gives it absolute all. He trains incredibly hard every single day, and he gets the results.
Well, not today in the 200, but interesting stuff.
Well, that was an incredible set of presentations there. Not only the medal winners, but also Adam Peaty picking up all of those awards. Now, next, we have the women's 100 metres freestyle. We have Housel versus O'Connor.
Here we go. Let's see how Fran bounces back. You know, Siobhan's not going to give it to her. She's not going to make it easy. I'm looking forward to this one. It's going to be interesting.
Definitely. We saw that devastation on Fran's face last night, and quite rightly so. She goes out there and she puts everything on the line when she comes into this. So it's going to be interesting to see how she does in this final.
Some limbering up exercises at the back. Should we come up in the third final? We have the open freestyle final and the Target Tokyo final as well, followed by the senior final. And it should be on paper, but of course we've had a few upsets this week. Should be Fran Housel against Siobhan Marie O'Connor. That's a little way away. Immediately, this bunch of swimmers are looking to get the target time for the European Juniors, 53.88, and just a marquee card on that one. We're looking at swimmers who potentially could be in the mix. So that's the that's the senior time. That would be quick for the juniors. 56.47 is the time we're looking for the juniors, and let's see how it goes on that one. 100 freestyle final for the women. And there is Fran Housel. We weren't sure whether she was going to be arriving on the blocks, but here she is. And Siobhan Marie O'Connor is in 5. So there you go. Right, women's 100 freestyle with Fran Housel going in 4, Siobhan Marie O'Connor in lane number 5, Georgia Davis in 6. Harriet Cooper could be the one to get in the mix as well. She'll certainly be aiming for a top 3 place. And I wonder what Anna Hopkin can do. I know Chris Alden thinks she could get in the top 3 herself from Bath University. She is in lane number 2. Wide open, certainly for the minor placings. Who's going to win? Expected to be either Housel or Siobhan Marie O'Connor. And in terms of the start time, fastest away is Siobhan in 0.68.
Great start from Siobhan, using the whole 15 metres underwater. It's going to be really fascinating because both Siobhan and Fran go out incredibly quick. Fran's got that more raw, natural speed, whereas Siobhan's got that little bit more endurance than Fran, but it's going to be interesting. The turning together, not together, but 26.13. 2/10, sorry. Behind is Siobhan Marie O'Connor. So this is going to come down to who's the fittest, who's got the mental strength over the last final 25 metres. It is Fran Housel slightly ahead with 15 metres to go.
Yeah, she's just ahead. Siobhan coming right alongside her now. Don't fade here, Fran Housel. Oh, she's going to fade. She is fading, and Siobhan's going to get the touch. 54.18, and that is not the time we were looking for, which is on your screen. But Siobhan Marie O'Connor does get the finish. 54.18. Fran Housel led that race for, I would reckon, 90 metres. And the last 10 metres, Siobhan Marie O'Connor overtook her. Harriet Cooper does get third place. Anna Hopkin, 55.50. And, well, Chris will be delighted with that because she's taken a quarter of a second off her personal best. Didn't quite get in the top 3, finished in 4th, but look at this. Look at the finish here.
Yeah, you can see from that angle, it just looks like Fran is slightly ahead getting to the 5 metre mark. But this is where Siobhan carrying that momentum in, finished on a full stroke. Fran was a little bit tight to, only slightly tight to the wall. That's the difference between winning and coming second. And I know Fran will see that as a winning or losing.
Winning time then for Siobhan, 54.18. 54.18 is the time, and we will hear from Siobhan of Bath University right now with Kate.
Always smiley, but I think you must be particularly smiley after race. It's been a long week for you, isn't it, waiting for this event, but you've done it, you're British champion.
Yeah, I had a few days where I wasn't swimming at the beginning of the week, and it was good to kind of watch everyone else and cheer, but I was kind of just itching to get going, and really pleased with that.
And you've still got the 200 medley still to come, so you've still got a busy week ahead of you. Does that give you a lot of confidence?
Yeah, it does, yeah. I would have loved to have got close to the time in that, but I've got the 200 AM tomorrow and really looking forward to that. So
well, we're looking forward to watching you too. You're British champion for the 200 metres individual medley, Siobhan Marie O'Connor.
Thank you.
Wow, what a race. Fran won that for about 90 metres, but the last 10 metres when it counted, Siobhan Marie O'Connor really pushed through it and took that gold.
Yeah, Fran took the race on, didn't she, to 50 and even through 75, but then Siobhan's background, that distance, that medley background just came over the top of Fran towards the end there. Both, you know, a nice swim. I'm sure both won't be 100% happy with the time, but nonetheless, they both had a good race there, and it was nice to see Fran picking herself back up after yesterday's disappointment.
Definitely, we saw Fran so upset yesterday. Not quite sure how she's going to be after that 100 metres, but Siobhan Marie O'Connor, this bodes well for that 200 metres.
Yeah, she was using this as a warm-up, absolutely no doubt, for her main events, and you know, it's going to be interesting to see.
Wonderful. So next up, we have the men's 100 metres butterfly.
So on to the men's junior 100 butterfly final. I tell you what, in 2 finals time, we have potentially something very, very spectacular. I don't know whether he can back it up. Well, I've got to say, in his career so far, James Guy has pretty much always backed up what he said he could do. And we'll see him go for something maybe rather special in the 100 butterfly very soon. But let's see what the juniors can provide for us. 54.33 is what they're aiming at for the European juniors. We see the 1 to 8. Sam Daly of Plymouth is our fastest qualifier. And nobody's been into the 54s in this field yet. Lewis Clough of City of Salford's been 55.08, but nobody's been down in the 54s, and that's where they need to be for definite selection for the European juniors. A little bit slow away there, Jacob Peters, but is now going to pick up things in lane number 5. A pretty even spread. The only person who's slightly behind off the dive is Lewis Clough.
Yeah, that's right. Sam Daly from Plymouth Leander. Also going very well, Thomas Sinclair from Aquasulis in lane number 2. And just like he's going to be the one that's going to touch the wall first at the halfway stage.
Just so like it, Lewis Clough actually slipped on the blocks there because he was a long, long way back. The 25, there's no particular reason why he should be. Thomas Sinclair, Aquasulis leading at 50. Sam Daly in 2nd. Jamie Ingram of Davencio in 3rd. All coming back in the line. Poor Lewis is having to make up an awful lot of ground. I think it's way too much. Surely it's way too much for him to make up. Sam Daly of Plymouth Leander, 54.33 is the time that he's looking for. I think it's just going to slip past 55.08 for Daly. Jacob Peters in 2nd place. Jamie Ingram in 3rd. Poor Lewis Clough back in 6th. Not quite the race. Oh, he looks quite devastated by that because it wasn't the start he wanted. Got up to 6th, but gave himself an awful lot to do. Sam Daly, well done, 55.08. That is a new personal best for him, but not inside the 55s that they were looking for on that race. They'll make their way out, and ready to replace them will be the 1 to 8 for the Target Tokyo 100 butterfly final. Let's have a look and see what's happening in the call room. And in there somewhere is James Guy.
Yeah,
where are you, James
the
Guy?
right-hand
There
side,
he is,
yeah,
right,
with his headphones
bottom
on.
right-hand corner. Listening to what? I know he's a soul boy. He's probably listening to soul music.
He likes Craig David, doesn't he?
Craig David. Does he?
That's exactly it.
Okay. Having a good old bop in the corner there. I have suggested some tunes he quite likes, so some of them might be on his...
What, Dinah Ross?
Why did you mention Dinah Ross out of absolutely nowhere? For God's sake. That's how you see me, is it? There he is. It's only
it's on your tape player here. You've not even got a CD player.
It's
not
cassette,
even MP3.
It's got a cassette there.
Yeah, you have, yeah.
I have still got a cassette, actually. Yes, I have. They're coming back, like vinyl.
They're not coming back.
They are coming back.
They're not coming back.
Cassettes and vinyl are coming back.
Somebody sold you that, telling you it's coming back.
Can I see you an 8-track?
Absolutely flogged you there, because they are not coming back.
Right, on to the 100 butterfly for the Target Tokyo. So some of these names, hopefully, we'll be seeing in 4 years' time, performing in Japan. Now, is it going to be Jacob Jackson in 1, Joe Litchfield? Oh, he's back again. After Max yesterday, and Joe winning as well. Do you know what? He'll fancy his chances from lane 2 when he's not the fastest in the field, but he might fancy his chances. Luke Greenbank of Cockermouth in 3. It might be what they call the Litchfield effect. Adam Taylor in 4 from City of Sunderland. Craig Bowman of Edinburgh in 5. Kevin Wallbank of Loughborough in 6. Joseph Clark of Guildford in 7. And George Emmons of Rushmore in lane 8. Well, we've talked a lot about older brother Max. What can younger brother Joe do after winning last night in the 400 IM? Can he get another medal, or maybe even win the 100 butterfly? Here we go. We'll find out. Less than 55 seconds or thereabouts. Off they go. Very even start. Nobody really getting much of a march, slightly from Luke Greenbank, who is into his stroke and ahead of everybody just at 25.
Normally see Luke on the backstroke event. We'll see him later on in the 200 metres backstroke further on in this week, but it's a great start from lane number 4. Adam Taylor, City of Sunderland, is going to turn first, 25.05. Craig Bowman, the fastest man in this field. Not the quickest qualifier, but certainly the fastest one on paper, and he's starting now to move up onto the shoulder, if not slightly ahead, with 15 metres to go. Luke Greenbank starting to make a charge in lane number 3.
Yeah, 3, 4 and 5, probably just 5. Now it's 4, now it's 5, now it's 5, definitely all the way. Craig Bowman's going to get this. No, he's not. Luke Greenbank edging him out by 4/100ths of a second. 54.02. Craig Bowman 54.06. And third place to Adam Taylor. That's how close that was. 17/100ths of a second between Luke Greenbank in first, Craig Bowman second, and Adam Taylor in third.
That was won all on the touch. You can,
as we'll see right now.
Yeah, just have a look now. Luke finished. That camera angle does look deceiving, but Luke Greenbank finished on a full stroke. He's carrying that momentum in that 5 metres. You might be able to see it. There you go. Finished on a full stroke, and the other swimmers
glide.
Just had a little bit of a glide, and that's the difference between 4/100ths of a second, first and second.
Yes, that shows you, doesn't it? Visibly going into the wall, you're thinking that is Craig Bowman.
So we've seen the next generation of those swimmers taking those junior and target Tokyo finals, and we have to talk again about that women's 100 metres freestyle. Honestly, I really thought Fran Hauser was going to go out there and win it tonight.
Yeah, you know what? It was a tough one to call, wasn't it? You know, we knew Fran was struggling from last night, but Siobhan just showed her sheer class there, you know, holding off Fran at the end there. I'm sure both girls are going to go to Rio. There's absolutely no doubt in my mind. You know, just fingers crossed that they both get that 100 metres freestyle when they're out there.
Definitely, I was having a chat with Bill Finesse about those target times, really pushing to be the best in the world, and you can see this head and head, and it just, Siobhan Marie O'Connor just had that fraction more left in the tank.
Yeah, it's just breeding excellence, isn't it? You know, these guys are going head to head, you know, and it's just proven there. The times are starting to get quicker and quicker. And British swimming is in a good place right now. It really is. Definitely,
it has that excited feel, you know, and, you know, well, you've made an Olympics, I've made an Olympics. What are these swimmers going to be doing if they do qualify from now until Rio?
It's going to be straight back in that training pool and getting their head down and getting in another block of work. Because like Bill wants and what he's got here is a guy's going to the Olympic trials, qualifying and using it as a stepping stone to the major, which is the Olympic Games. That is the end goal. That's what those guys want.
And talking about Olympic Games, last year we saw Siobhan pick up that bronze in the 200 metres IM. How do you reckon that freestyle leg's going to be looking after that performance today?
I think it's going to be great. You know, she's going to take confidence from that into that 200 IM, and there was absolutely no doubt. Siobhan, she's got a year ahead of her. She really has.
And talking about Siobhan, let's look at her pick up her medal.
Here they are, the 100 freestylers, and Siobhan Marie O'Connor getting the touch at the very last touch. Fran Hauser, a bit happier tonight, slightly more cheery, smile on her face. It's another silver to add to the gold last night, but the gold last night was not within the consideration time for Rio 2016. Siobhan Marie O'Connor slightly outside that as well in the 100 freestyle, but sure we'll get a big broad smile by Siobhan. She takes the 100 freestyle. There you go. I'm sure the first of many national titles that she'll take throughout her career. She's already got a few, and another one to add to her collection. Siobhan Marie O'Connor, the winner of the British National Championships 2016 in Glasgow in the 100 free.
So from 100 freestyle to men's 100 metres butterfly, I was having a chat with James Guy's dad, and he said this is his fun event. Now, for a fun event, he's going in first seed into this final.
Yeah, and it's going to be a tough final for him. if I was a betting man, my money would be on James Guy. I think he's going to show his class here at the end here. You know, he's got a busy programme this week, but I think he could take it. But the guy I've got my eye on is Braxton Tim. Huh? You know, I think he's going to have a good swim tonight. He swims with Russ at the City of Sheffield. We've seen the sort of meet that Russ is having in the City of Sheffield guys after Max's performance last night. So I'm interested to see how he goes here.
So are you ruling out Anthony James, or are you going to throw him in the mix anyway?
You know what? This race could come from anywhere. You've got Anthony James, and you've got Adam Barrett, you've got Joe Roebuck. You know, could come from anywhere. But I think James Guy might just take it.
And having already got inside that consideration time, that's the whole load off his back.
Yeah, exactly. The pressure's off now. The edge is off. He can go out there, he can relax and enjoy his fun event.
So here is the men's 100 metres butterfly.
I have very much been looking forward to this because I think there could be something special in the offing here. I'm not giving you a build-up that's going to let us down, like one of my Yorkshire puddings, but I think almost definitely James Guy will be gunning for something special. The British record is held by Michael Rock and has been on the cards for a little while now. Set it in 2009, so it's about time it went, really, isn't it? 51.41 is that British record, and he's going to have to get the British record, or somebody's going to have to get the British record to actually get the qualifying time of 51.24.
Yeah, that's right. They're going to have to be really quick tonight if they want to be under that consideration time. And we've mentioned it many times before. Not only is the individual up for grabs, but also there's a spot on the medley relay should they wish to take it to Rio. And that's why you're seeing James Guy do this. He knows there's a potential medal in the medley relay, and he wants to be on that team.
Predictions going around about this. But, well, Adam Barrett will be in the mix, we know that. Anthony James will likewise. 23.97 is the split on the British record. So the first marker to give us an indication whether James Guy is going to do, firstly, a British record, is 23.97 at the turn. Now, as this is, look at, yeah, you can wait for me, boys. I'm not ready. I know you're ready, but I'm not. Let's take the time, yeah, take the t-shirt off, make sure my cap's all right, goggles in place.
There's some very quick boys in this event, and I mean that by going out fast. I'm going to say don't expect James Guy to be out there leading at the first 50, but he probably will be. But he comes back incredibly quick.
Well, let's see whether the man from Millfield can do the journey. Everybody's in position. He's not. Come on then, into position, James. Off you go. There he goes. Right, so 23.97 is the first real marker, well, the only marker we're going to get. It's not quickest away. Quickest away is Adam Barrett in lane number 3, setting into his stroke before everybody else anyway.
Yeah, great start from Adam Barrett, using that underwater to great effect. But here's where James Guy, he's just a born racer. We talk about a lot about Adam Peaty, but also James Guy is another born racer. He's going to touch the wall first. He is in 24.40. Second place is Adam Barrett, just 2/10 behind. And in lane 3 it is Anthony James from Plymouth Leander.
Not as quick as I thought it was going to be, and Adam Barrett is going to take him on in his own game. Adam Barrett, James Guy, Anthony James, all in a line. Who's going to get this? It's going to be mighty tough.
Anthony James looking fantastic in lane number 5.
But I think James Guy is probably just going to get it. He's going to get the touch. He's going to get the time of 52.15. Well, nowhere near as quick as I expected that to be. Gave it the big build-up, but nonetheless, James Guy is the British swimming champion in the 100 fly. Anthony James 52.31 in second. Adam Barrett going very well for the majority of that race, finishing in third place in 52.67. And, well, James Guy didn't quite get the split I was looking for, but he held on at the end. That's the real racer for you. Even though we're coming back to him, he still dug in there to make sure he won it.
You see, at this point, it was Anthony James that was leading. James Guy had to dig deep to get the hand on the wall. He's not as technically good as Anthony James, but he won.
Yeah, he did, and it's decent. It's a more decent time. It's very good, 52.15 for James Guy. That's 0.3 personal best for the man from Millfield.
So James Guy, is there anything that this guy can't win?
He turns his hand to anything, hey? Unbelievable swim. He the pressure was on him tonight, really, because everyone thought he was going to do it, and he proved us right.
So let's hear what he has to say.
Title of this week. There seems to be no stopping you. Freestyle, butterfly. Must be pleased with that result.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's the win of the British Championships, and can't believe it, really. It's nice.
Did you expect to win that race? We know you're good over the 400 and the 200 free, but fly as well?
No, not at all. I mean, that field there was stacked, and to get away with the victory is fantastic.
Well, you are British champion. Once again, we're looking forward to seeing you coming up in the 200 freestyle, but a big cheer for James Guy, our British champion.
So we've just heard the reaction there from James Guy. Pretty happy with that, I'm thinking.
Yeah, warm up for that 200 freestyle as well. Good things to come for the rest of this week. You know, his 200 free is his main event, but I've actually got it, you know, from good authority that his 100 fly is something that he's looking to step up even more and more over these coming years. So, you know, the sky's the limit for the young lad.
Well, there was such a kind of a change in that race. You know, we saw Adam Barrett in the mix, we saw Anthony James. It was all chopping and changing. It was that last 5 metres. I thought Anthony James was going to get it.
Yeah, it was great to see Anthony James, you know, come back a little bit there. The last couple of years, he's been in limbo a little bit. You know, he's not been firing on all cylinders. You know, Anthony's a great friend of mine, and he's a lovely, lovely fella. So to see him back at his best is really, really impressive stuff. So well done to him also.
It was just on that finish when James Guy just pipped him out as he was coming in then, but it was an incredible race for all of them. That pacing really well, and you can see there on that turn that underwater work used by all of those swimmers.
Yeah, AJ's got an absolutely stellar underwater, and he used it well there. Just on that finish there, James Guy just touched him out.
Definitely. Well, we've still got so much action left to go. Here's the women's 200 metres backstroke.
.200 backstroke final for the juniors. Here's the lineup coming up very shortly on your screen. There'll be the junior final, then there'll be the Target Tokyo final, and then we'll have the seniors with the likes of Lizzie Simmons and Jessica Fullerlove. But this is the lineup for the 100 butterfly junior. Sorry, the 200 backstroke juniors. It hasn't cleared from our screen as yet, so hopefully we'll do in just a moment. Madeline Dyer, Isabel Jones, Harriet Perfect, Sophie Hobber, Eleanor Baldwin, Emma Rosen and Rachel Wellings are the 1 to 7. At the moment, our screen is not cleared, so hopefully this will be fine for timing device. Lane 6 is just behind off the start. A very good start by Rachel Wellings in lane number 7.
Yeah, she has done. She had a great start this morning as well. Just faded a little bit over the second part of the race, but she did have a great start. Also going well in lane number 4. It is Sophie Hobart. And it is going to be Rachel Wellings in lane number 7, turning first, 31.69. You can see that the swimmer in lane 4 on your screen, just going through the 75-metre mark. Just now starting to creep out in front, but it's looking incredibly tight. All these swimmers are separated by a smidgen.
Yeah, nothing much to choose between any of the 8, but Sophie Hobber visibly, and as far as the clock is concerned, quite a way ahead. 106.26 with Harriet Perfect of Poole in second place. Third is Rachel Wellings of Peterborough, and at the halfway stage, Emma Rosen of Stockport Metro finds herself in 4th place. But at the moment, one person dictating in the front of this race, so they're going to come back to where Harriet Perfect is certainly trying to in lane number 3, as is Eleanor Baldwin in 5.
Yeah, only half a second separating the top 3 at the halfway stage, but it looks like that advantage is going to be increasing. I do expect Eleanor Baldwin from City Derby to come back quick over the last length, but she's got a lot to do. She is turning in second, Eleanor Baldwin, but she is 1.4 seconds behind. The Sophie Hobber from Leeds that really is a body length ahead and streaking away from the rest of the field, looking incredibly strong over this last 25 metres.
Right, time needed for European junior consideration, 2:13.75. She's going to have to get a move on to get a 2:13 here. is Sophie Hobber. And she'll come in about 1, 2, 3 body lengths clear of everybody else. 2:15.02 for Sophie Hobber. Second, Isabel Jones. Third, Eleanor Baldwin. And 2:15.02. Just have a quick check and see how that relates to her previous best. Well, yeah, she's taken about 3/4 of a second off her personal best as Sophie Hobber from Leeds with that time. So she's first. Second place to Isabel Jones, and third is Harriet Perfect of Poole.
You see the distance that she won by. Just keeping that head nice and still. Keep it still from going left and right, but it is bobbing up and down a little bit. Work on that a little bit more in training. The head staying still, but up and down. The movement too far. And diving to the wall. You see the other swimmers coming in to follow her.
Quite a gap between first and second in the end, all of 2.3 seconds between Sophie Hobber and Isabel Jones. A very well-paced race and the best time that she has ever done. So City of Leeds will be happy with that. Millfield in second, and City of Derby in third place. Quite a few City of Derby swimmers this week, in addition to Anne and Petey having a good week and making some big inroads in their times. On to the Target Tokyo 200 backstroke final now, with of course the senior final to come next. Representatives here from Bath, East Kilbride, Warrington, 2 from Loughborough in the centre lanes, Stockport Metro, Warrender and Newcastle will be the ones away. We'll give you the names after we've seen them on the blocks.
It's a great club, City of Derby.
Have you been there?
A couple of times.
I find it closed every time, didn't it?
Oh, could you go at midnight?
Yeah. Got a sack of coal from the petrol station. That kind of stuff. Chantal Austin will go in 1 for Bath University. I'll name them now before they actually get in the pool, and you'll see them on the screen. 2, Jennifer King, East Kilbride. 3, Kathleen Dawson. Charlotte Evans, there is your 1 to 8 of the day. 5, 6, Anna Newlands goes for Stockport. Megan Briggs of Warrington, and Georgia Darwent goes in lane number 8 for Newcastle. 4 lengths of this Toll Cross pool. Target Tokyo 200 backstroke. Now, in terms of times, personal best in this event, Charlotte Evans and Kathleen Dawson are in the 2:12s, and nobody is close to that. So it should be, on paper, as we know races are never swum on paper, but because it would be very messy if they were, Kathleen Dawson and Charlotte Evans in 3 and 4 should be the ones to watch in this.
Yeah, they're the quickest, as you say, on paper. And seen lots of these girls over the years compete for Great Britain in the European Juniors. Now they're in the Target Tokyo final. So you can see the progression that British swimming want to take these swimmers and take the journey from going from the European Juniors to give them the exposure domestically into the Target Tokyo final, and then looking ahead 4 years on, 4.5 years on, hopefully some of these girls will be able to certainly push for places on the Olympic team to come through 4.5 years time.
Lovely stroke she's got, hasn't she? Really economical and gets herself through the water very, very quickly indeed. Impressive first 100 here from Charlotte Evans, leading by 1.5 seconds from the rest. And I love her position in the water, so high. See the head right above the water, her torso right above the water, everybody else just sinking down a bit, and she's like floating on the top.
Yeah, you can see that right there. She's got a nice, steady head position. There's something that you will notice the difference from this final to the senior final is how far they go underwater off the turns. You look at look now, it's around about 7-8 meters. When you look at somebody like Lizzie Simmons, will be using 10 to 13 meters off every turn, and that's the difference from being a junior swimmer or certainly a developing swimmer into the world class and the senior swimmers.
2:12.51 is her best time ever. Well, she's got a good chance of knocking on the door of that, has Charlotte Evans. She's going to win this race, and she has dominated this race all the way through. Now, come on, do something special here. 2:11.98. That's special, certainly special for her because she's never been inside 2:12 until today. Now she has done that. 2:11.98. Emma Day second for Loughborough. So Loughborough 1-2, kind of as we predicted, although we did think that maybe Kathleen Dawson would get a bit closer. 2:13.99 and fourth Anna Newens. That was a lovely race to watch. It wasn't a race in the end, it was a procession, but just seeing how well Charlotte Evans swam that, and she's definitely a name for the future.
Yeah, she's now at the university, Loughborough University, same place as Emma Day, picking up a 1-2 in that event, and you can see the replay. She's keeping her head really nice and still.
Just getting a bit lower in the water than she was at 150 though.
Yeah, as she's getting fatigued, her body position is starting to sink. But by that point, she'd already won the race.
And it's a big PB, relatively for her age. 2:11.98. She won that by, as you see, nearly 2 seconds. Good stuff from her. Emma Day in second, and third to Kathleen Dawson.
So it's great to see so many of these younger swimmers doing PBs here at these finals, but somebody who's used to swimming at the British Championships is Elizabeth Simmons.
Yeah, and she goes in this next final, women's 200 metres backstroke, and this final in itself is a young final, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens here.
Let's see what happens.
So the 200 backstroke final, last event of the evening programme. And yeah, it is a very tough qualification time for consideration for Rio 2016. Lizzie Simmons has been in the 208s, but not for a while. 208.21, this is one of the tougher ones of the week, most certainly. I just wonder who is capable of getting even close to it, Ross, to be honest.
Well, Lizzie Simmons is. She has been miles under the consideration time in her career. Not necessarily over the last couple of years, but the lifetime best is a 206. So she has been under the consideration time, but it's been a difficult time for Lizzie over the last 2, 3, 4 years. She moved from Loughborough University, went down to University of Bath. But remember, she came fourth at the Olympic Games. She's a quality swimmer. She's a world-class swimmer. She just has to get it right on the day. And we've said this before, she can't tense up. She's got to swim relaxed. When Lizzie swims relaxed, she swims fast. When she starts to tense up, that's when she starts to sink in the water and she starts to struggle to get the times that she knows she can do.
Not even going to bother with the British record because that is out of sight, really, for anybody here, I think. It is one of the old shiny suit records. We have talked about this. Gemma Spofford holding the 100 and 200 records. That's up at 206, but forget that for the time being, because that's not relevant to this. 208.21. Lizzie ready to go in the 200 backstroke. 1 to 8, Tasmin Pugh of Ellesmere, and 2, Rosie Rudin of Nova Centurion. 3, Georgia Homan of Nottingham Neander. Lizzie Simmons of Bath in 4, Chloe Hannam of City of Peterborough in 6, Jessica Fullerlove, City of Manchester in lane 6, Brittany Horton of City of Birmingham in lane number 7, and Chloe Golding of Ellesmere College in lane number 8.
You can see the different techniques from Elizabeth Simmons and Jessica Fullerlove. Jessica Fullerlove did this morning. He went out incredibly strong over the first 100 and then started to pay for it over the second half. Lizzie is a more endurance swimmer. She did pick up a medal on the 100 metres backstroke earlier on this week. 60.2 she did on that event, but she's looking nice and relaxed in lane number 4. But going well is Jessica Fullerlove. Do expect her probably to tie her up unless she backed off this morning in the heats. You don't know. Also in with the mix is Chloe Hannon in lane number 5. But it is going to be Fullerlove that turns first. 63.29. 0.1 separating Jessica Fullerlove and Lizzie Simmons. But let's just see another great turn from Lizzie Simmons. Now she gets into her groove. Now she gets into her rhythm. And she's just starting now to edge out in front. 75 metres to go. This is a big 75 metres. If she wants to get that consideration time, she's got to have a strong back end.
One of the best juniors we have ever produced, 13 years of age when we first started to hear about and see Lizzie Simmons. 14, 15, she was breaking records left, right and centre, and she's been a great part of the British national swimming team for many, many years. Worlds, Europeans and Olympics. Now what can she do coming back here? She's going to get a bit of a threat from Jessica Fullerlove. Can she hold on? More importantly, can she get close to 2:08.21?
Yeah, it's going to be tough. It is going to be tough, very, very tough. She's not going to go under the 2:08 or around 2:08, but she is going to win this final. A fast, storming finish from Chloe Hannon in lane number 5. No doubt who the winner is going to be. It is going to be Lizzie Simmons.
2:09.24. It's still respectable, still a lovely time. 2:11.20 for Jessica Fullerlove, and third Chloe Hannon in 2:11.47. So Simmons from Fullerlove from Hannon is the 1, 2, 3 in the women's 200 metres backstroke. And well, yeah, it was about a second outside the time. She required 1.03 outside the target time. 2:09.24, but she won that by a comfortable margin in the end, Ross. 2 seconds between her and Jessica Fullerlove. So even though the all-comers are trying, nobody is able to usurp her right now.
No, certainly right. You can see the replay. She's a perfectionist. She trains incredibly hard, but she's going to be disappointed with that swim because she wanted to get the consideration time to go to her third Olympic Games. She didn't even look round at the time. Straight away, I think she knew that she probably wasn't quite there. You can see a reaction.
Yeah, it wasn't to be, but it was a very, very tough time, to be absolutely honest. 2:08.21, and that is not quite where she wants to be, but nonetheless, I'm sure she'll be in the mix when they're working out the team selection for Rio 2016 next week, because nobody else is getting close to it. We'll hear from Lizzie Simmons. She's on pool deck, and here she is with Kate.
Lizzie, congratulations. You got a silver in the 100 metres earlier in the week, and you've put it right, becoming British champion in the 200 metres. You must have been pleased with that performance.
Yeah, it was a good solid swim. Would have liked to have seen a bit faster, but it's just how it goes, and got a little bit tense early on in the race, so kind of felt that a little bit back end, but it was definitely a step forward from the 100, and I'm pleased with that.
And it's been a great night for the bar swimmers, Willis and then Siobhan, and now yourself. You've obviously felt the momentum from their performances.
Yeah, definitely. It's great seeing your teammates earlier on in the night do so well, and definitely take kind of inspiration from that, and it makes the drive a little bit stronger for you, but trying not to get too excited and obviously focus on my own race, but it was great to see them.
It's great to see you take that British title. Well done. One more cheer for Elizabeth Simmons, your British champion.
So that was a race of two halves. We saw Jessica Fullerlove leading at that 100 metres mark, and then Elizabeth Simmons, that underwater work. It is incredible.
Yeah, she's unbelievable. I've been lucky enough to train with Lizzie, and her underwater is phenomenal. And it's a really controlled race there by Lizzie. But unfortunately, I think she just left it a little bit too late to make her move, and obviously she was a little bit off that qualifying time. Fingers crossed, you never know that she may get a seat on that plane, but I would have liked to have seen her make that move maybe 30, 40 metres earlier.
So we've just seen that backstroke, but before we saw that men's 100 metres butterfly. The presentations are going to be coming up soon. So let's just have a little bit of a look at that end of that race there.
Yeah, AJ came off the wall, Anthony James came off the wall very, very well. You know, great underwater, he really utilised that dolphin kick. But at the end, James Guy, he was just too strong. And considering he's a freestyler, 200 freestyler, with big things to come on that 200 free later in the week.
I think James Guy just timed that finish to absolute perfection, didn't he? There was so little margin for error in a 100 metres butterfly. For somebody who's more of a 400, 200 metre specialist, to see him do so well. Yeah. So let's just have a little look now at James Guy picking up that gold medal.
Yep, edged out Anthony James into second place. Wasn't quite as quick as I thought we might see from James Guy. I think we might get into the realms of a low 51 or a high 50. That will come in time. I'm sure James Guy has it within him when he starts to really concentrate on the 100 fly. I think that won't be too far away. But to add to his triumph in the 400 freestyle, there's another gold for James Guy, and well, he should probably take the 200 as well. So that'd be maybe the second of 3 golds we might see from James Guy this week.
So we're seeing James Guy pick up that gold medal there. In a minute, we're going to be going and having a look at those women pick up those medals in the 200 metres backstrokes. So that's the wrap of this evening. But before we do that, let's have a look at Lizzie Simmons in action in a second here. Can see her taking this backstroke. So talk me through what's going through her mind as she starts this race.
Yeah, I mean, Lizzie's a very, very controlled character, and she proved it there in the race there. So before the actual race, she'd have just been going through the plan that she'd been working on with her coach, David McNulty. She'd have known down to a T what she had to do, and we can see there Lizzie's underwater phase is absolutely sublime. She picks up nice into the breakout there, real nice controlled stroke rate, and she picked it up throughout the whole 200, if you saw that, Cassie. But by the end, you know, she was finishing very, very strong. She just ran out of water.
That last 75 metres, she really came into her own, and nobody could go with her. She had clear water either side her into that finish.
Yeah, I'd have been interested to see someone pushing Lizzie a little bit more. Perhaps she could have got under that time, but, you know, how long's a piece of string? Unfortunately, she didn't get under the time. Fingers crossed that she gets a seat on that plane. But look at her coming in there. Great shoulder rotation for straight into the finish there.
Coming out obviously disappointed not getting that consideration time, but she was so graceful with it.
Yeah, and that's what I love about Lizzie. You speak to anyone on this poolside, any swimmer, any coach, you know, Lizzie's an absolute dime a dozen. She's a lovely, lovely girl. Everyone wants her to do well. And she has done well. She's British champion again. You know, what a career she's had. Considering she's still a young girl, really, in the grand scheme of things. What a career she's had to date.
As the race was going on, Grant was saying to me that Lizzie is one of the most talented swimmers that he's ever known, ever trained with. Can you just explain why you think that?
Yeah, she is. Lizzie, her actual talent in the pool, she can do things that some of us can only dream of. And she's had an absolute sublime career. Her underwater work, she can just get that dolphin kick. You know, it's not natural to many people. You know, like your Michael Phelps and your Ryan Lochte's it is. But, you know, Lizzie can do that. And I've seen her do things in training. I can just sit back and watch in awe. It really is unbelievable stuff.
Definitely, we saw her then looking so excellent in that 200 metres backstroke, picking up the silver as well in the 100. So it's going to be a bit of a waiting game, isn't it? Next Thursday is when they're going to be finding out who's on the team and who's not. For someone who's made an Olympics, what is that wait like?
Oh, it's going to be long. It's going to be hard. It's going to be tough. But you know, the guys who have good performances here, you know, they can take pride and take knowledge in knowing that they've done the work. And now they just got to wait for that phone call. And I'm sure they're not going to keep them holding, you know, too long. I'm sure Bill will make that phone call pretty soon. As soon as he knows, he'll let everyone know.
So we've seen some people today that are racing today. Siobhan Marie O'Connor, we've seen James Guy. They're racing later. Probably they're better events. We've got James Guy in the 200 metres freestyle on Sunday. We've got Siobhan Marie O'Connor in the 200 IM. What are they going to be doing between now and when they race next?
Yeah, recovering and just staying in the zone. You know, swimming is, any sport is so mental. You have to go away, back to the hotel, rest, recuperate, eat right, make sure you're getting the right rest, the right sleep. And those guys are just going to have that one thing on their mind, that race later in the week. And I'm excited because both of them guys, you know, James Guy and Siobhan Marie O'Connor, best events haven't come yet. Big things to come.
So when you say nutrition, there's this rumour, isn't there? Michael Phelps and his chicken nuggets and his McDonald's. Is that really what swimmers are going to be eating?
No, load of rubbish, absolute load of rubbish. You know, when the whole thing came out about Michael Phelps and the calorie intake, of course he's taking in a lot of calories. You know, these guys are training, you know, so many hours a week, and they're putting their bodies on the line every single day. You have to eat right. You can't be having chicken nuggets and McDonald's every single day. It just doesn't work.
Even if they would quite like that.
Yeah, it does not work. Yeah, you need to be able to fuel the body. At the end of the day, it's a race car. You don't put, you know, poor fuel in a race car. You have to put the best fuel, and that's what those guys will be doing so that they can race fast and continue the week. It's all well and good racing fast at the start of the week, but you have to see it through. You have to finish the meet out.
Perfect. Well, we're going to see Elizabeth Simmons picking up her gold medal in the women's 200 metres backstroke.
She needed a 2:08.21 to automatically make that consideration for the Olympic team. Unfortunately, in the 2:09 lows today, she gave it a good go, and she was so much better than everybody else, and she has been for so many years. Just full of love, her nearest adversary, but the gap was substantial, and that's another medal to add. I don't know where she puts them all, because she will have an awful lot over the last 10 years. But that is gold for Lizzie Simmons in the 200 metres backstroke.
So it's lovely to see Lizzie Sims there, so smiling and happy, picking up her British medal. There's that kind of swings and roundabouts, isn't it? You're British champion, you're your best in Britain, but you haven't quite made that consideration time.
Yeah, there's always going to be that, it's a bit bittersweet, isn't it? She's going to be delighted with the win. Of course, she is British champion again, but of course, just missing that qualification time. But like you say, she's got a smile on her face. Lizzie has always got a smile on her face, and that's why we all love her.
And that's what we love to see. I mean, from a swimmer yourself, you put so much into events like this, and I'm sure you've had moments where you've been on top of the world, but at the same time, not quite so happy. What do you do to pick yourself up if you haven't quite made that time that you've been looking for?
Of course, you put effort in. It's like anything. You put the effort in, you want to reap the benefits and reap the rewards, but it doesn't always work out. That's life sometimes, and these guys know that. These guys are world-class international athletes. They're going to go back, reassess, reevaluate, and make the right decisions. And Lizzie will make the right decision. She'll make the right call with her coach David McNulty, and there's absolutely no doubt if she wants to, she can bounce back. If she does get on that plane to Rio, which fingers crossed she does, she can go there and do a great job.
So tomorrow we have the women's 400 metres freestyle, the men's 200 metres IM, women's 200 IM as well, and men's 50 free. Ben Proud, I'm quite excited to see that. What about you?
Yeah, that 50 free is going to be great, but Ben Proud, I don't think he's going to have clear water. We've got Andrew Weatherett in there as well, who could do an absolute great swim. He's a big man. He's been working with coach Ian Hume at Loughborough. It's going to be a bit of a ding-dong between them two. Ben Proud's a great swimmer, but I think it could come from anyone in that pool. It's a short event. Anyone could win it.
Sorry, Grant. We saw him just tighten up a little bit on the end of that 100 metres. He's been working hard on his back end, but he has that speed. We've seen him breaking the British record this year already. What are you thinking?
Yeah, Ben Proud, he's moving male sprinting in this country forward, and that's what it needs. It needs someone who can take it forward. The likes of Simon Burnett, he did so much for sprinting, freestyle sprinting in this country. He's taken it to a certain level. Now it's for Ben Proud to take it, and the sky's the limit for the young lad. He's still young. He's a great coach at John Rudd down in Plymouth, a great setup. Great training partners. Really, these next 4 years, Tokyo could be a great event for him.
Well, they are the heats that we've got tomorrow morning. Please stay tuned. Use that hashtag if you're on Twitter, hashtag BSC16. We read all of your tweets, but join us tomorrow at 9:55.